would go to Facebook and randomly post comments like, um, man, when you're marrying, go ahead and find yourself a wife who can cook. Because, damn, mind you, I am a really good cook and he knows it. I mean, everyone knows it. But he would post a comment like this. And I would be like, hey, when I get home from work, I'd be like, hey, what was that comment about you made today? And he'd be like, oh, yeah, I was just speaking with some guys and, we were chatting about it. So I just posted this. When I know he was intentionally doing it to make me feel bad, right? Because if you're in a marriage and you're posting this, it's a reflection of your marriage or your experiences, or maybe something that's happening on the internet. But if it's none of that, it's assumed that it's about your wife. Or he'd post something like, hey, guys, make sure when you're looking for a wife, make sure she knows how to dress, because if she doesn't, then man, like it's rough. And mind you, we have, to my knowledge, everything is going well in the marriage, but he would intentionally do this. And it would usually be after experiences, like if I've experienced a success or I've experienced something he knows that brought me like joy, he would do it like the following day. It was a pattern. So I say this to say that it appears that Darius knew what she valued. She values privacy. He knows everything that he says. Like he said, it's a representation of the family. And I think he purposely did it to embarrass her, and to kind of get a coalition of people to come together to bash her. It didn't work. But to end my little splurge here, I would say that two things can be true. I think she did too much, but I also think that he crossed the line when he went to Twitter with it, and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Thank you. Just to reiterate, guys, we've already bashed Darius for the last 2 days. I don't want to hear any more of Darius. We're not arguing about Darius. If you think he's wrong, we actually agree with you. So if your point is to do with Darius, I don't want to hear it. No offense. But I've actually slaughtered him for 6 hours. We have a 5 hour live and another hour and a half live. I'm not shooting anybody, just saying so that anybody else coming up on the panel, I don't want to hear any more about Darius, because we all agree that he was wrong for outing her and saying stuff about the dress and tweeting it. We already agree. So there's no point telling us about what you feel about Darius, because we agree with you. So this more about now. Do you agree with the premise that Keke was disrespectful? That's the argument we're having. That's the discussion we're having. So if you disagree with that and you think she was okay with doing what she's doing, give us that point of view. Or if you disagree and think she was being disrespectful, give us that point of view. But Darius himself, we don't hear about him because we all agree with you. And what happens is the conversation gets into trying to balance the scales. There is no scales to balance today. Darius was wrong. So we want to start with either you agree with Keke being disrespectful with her dancing and dressing, whatever, or maybe the dress. I don't personally care about the dress, but if you want to talk about that, that's fine. Or you feel she was cool what she did, then give us that point of view. We want to hear that. But we know Darius is wrong, and we have already shot him. Or the Mandem have got on his neck and shot him. Okay, I even shot a Kene for you guys too. So Araba, go for it.
I mean, after that, I don't know if there's anything to say.
Well, hold on. Araba, first of all, why are you looking so fine today?
Oh, thank you, Kojo.
Okay, go on.
Thank you
You
to
can say
everyone
whatever
in
you
the
want.
chat.
You want to talk about Darius? Go talk about Darius. You want to talk about it. You want to talk about it. I'm joking.
No, and
Go for
thank
it.
you to everyone in the chat too. I see all the love. I came at the end of the conversation, so I'm sorry. Adra was the one who was like, "Oh, you need to come up. You need to come up." So hoping my sis will be able to join the live a little bit later. But so to answer your question, was Keke Palmer being disrespectful? I'm going to say no. Let me first preface it by saying, would I have worn what she wore? No. That's not my style of dress. And I personally would feel exposed, but I'm not every woman, so I'm not going to speak for every woman. So that's the first thing. Number two, the way I act in a relationship is different than the way someone else acts in a relationship, than another woman acts in a relationship. So I'm not going to penalize her, because what I will say is, while to some of us, her actions may have read as disrespectful, but there's no way that Darius does not know how Keke is or how she is in public, right? And granted, there is a way that you are with your man when you're out with him alone, and there is a different way when you're out with your girls and you're having fun, you're vibing. But nothing is new under the sun, especially because they've been together for about like a year and some change now. So I'm not buying like this is coming out of left field for him. I, purely think that the situation is more so based on his ego, and what we're seeing is a reflection of that. So I do not think that Keke was being disrespectful. I understand the dynamics that people have spoke about prior, like the men on this panel. And while like I agree that it works for some relationships, that's not how everyone kind of operates. And I think it's just weird to request so much from someone who you have not made your wife. She's just a girlfriend. So that to me, it kind of like overshadows a lot of these other entitlements and requirements. And I don't understand how you can feel so like empowered to request certain types of decencies and respects when you have not done the decency of locking her down officially, of giving her legal benefits. That makes no sense to me. So I don't know why that's part of the conversation, but that's all I'm going to say.
Before you leave, Robert, question. You said the dress is not your particular taste. Why is it not your particular taste?
It's not my particular taste because I don't dress like that, right? So I don't, there's certain parts of my body that I'm going to cover. But like I said, this is my own moral.
Stay there. You're going good. No, you're going good. No, Robert, you're going good.
I know where you're going. I know where. Listen, I know where you're going, and you're not going to get me.
I'm not against the dress, by the way. I'm not against it. So
right.
I just want to ask your perspective on it. Go for it, Robert. Go. Sorry, I interrupted you. I apologize.
Me personally, the way that I was raised, right? I was raised to dress in a certain form or fashion, and I've just never grown out of that, right? But I will never demonize Keke Palmer for what she wore. I will never do that. I really don't think what she wore was that bad, and I also feel like this is not about her dress. Like, this is just, the dress is not the main issue. The main issue is he was threatened. He felt insecure in that moment. So I feel like that shouldn't even be part of the conversation.
Can you see why he was threatened?
Absolutely.
Would you dance with me if you had a man?
I would dance with you, but there's a certain way that I would dance with you.
Would you dance like the way that Keke? No, would you dance the way Keke danced with me with your man?
No, I would not.
Thank you. That's all it is. No, that's all it is.
With you,
we won. But that's our point. You said it's not disrespectful. And I'm asking you, why would you not do it, Araba?
You're trying to get me, Kojo, and I feel like what you don't understand is what I do is not what the next woman is going to do. I'm not going to police her.
But why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? That's what I'm asking. I don't know about a woman. Why wouldn't you do it? We know that you ain't going to hold them accountable, but you're going to hold yourself accountable. So why would you not do it, Araba?
So the reason why I would do it does not matter. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, Kojo. It does not matter.
You're just so fine. That's why I'm allowing you.
Listen to me. I know what y'all trying to do. Y'all try to do that man thing where you put me in a box and I have no choice but to get. No, we're not going to get that. You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. Okay.
Sometimes it's good to admit. Sometimes it's just good to admit. Just say it.
And shame the devil.
So okay, I'll give you a little bit of what you want, right? So when I'm in a relationship, there are levels of boundaries and forms of respect that I do show. I can admit to that. Dancing with another man in a way that is provocative or whatever, I'm not going to do that. But here's the thing: I don't think that Keke Palmer was dancing provocatively. They're both entertainers. I think they were putting on a little show. It's entertainment. I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. And the reason why I hate these questions is because we're moving the goalpost. Instead of focusing on, it's really mostly about Darius's insecurities and public humiliation to bring down and degrade his partner. Like, y'all laughing, but this is the truth. You're distracted.
No, we agree with you. No, Araba. We agree with you. This is what we're trying to say. That's why I said nobody addressed Darius, because we agree with you. What we're saying is the argument isn't about that anymore because we agree with you. We stand 10 toes down with you.
Yeah.
We 10 toes down with you. He said he's a hypocrite. He said he's a liar. I've said that he's doing too much. He's not protecting his woman or his relationship. Overall, I don't like the fact that he did what he did. I should have never known about this. You should never know about this. So we agree with you. What we're saying now is, now put that aside. Her dancing with him. I said, if you dance like that with me, Would you do that if you had a man? Would you twirl around at the end to give me a little show of the Nyash when you knew you had a man?
Where's the ring on my finger?
No. That's what I'm asking.
No. But that's
I was
what
saying, would you do it?
That's what I'm telling
If
you.
no, if
That's what I'm telling you.
no,
What we're not gonna do
Rama.
requirements as boyfriends and as baby fathers. That's what we're not gonna do.
Oh my! You see, we man,
So
we cannot win. We
if you
cannot.
want public submission, I'm gonna need public recognition. Okay,
Oh,
Do you
I'm
know
going
what
to
Arama's doing?
that's
She's
an
coming
invitation.
out swinging. She's
I'm
coming
going
out swinging.
legal protection. I'm going to need all of that before you start requesting. Oh, you can't be
Hey.
dancing with these men. You can't. Excuse me. Is my last name your last name?
Araba, see, thing is, we've been killing Darius for 2 days. You just resurrected him back up again. You resurrected him back up again. Come on.
Because this is about him. This is about him. This is not about
Alright.
Keke Palmer. She's not
Okay,
been
I'll allow you.
successful. She's not.
I think
She
you've
was
answered that
wearing-
question already.
I did. She was showing
Yes.
a little cleavage, showing a little booty cheek that you've all seen, that you all go on the internet to see for free. Like, why are we complaining about this now? I don't get it. But go ahead.
Well, I hope you allow me and permit me when I put the video up and saying that women are intentionally shifting the goalposts when I do the 8-minute breakdown because that's what I'm gonna do.
No,
Because
this
you
is
nah,
shit
baby,
post.
you
This
shifted
is
it.
me redirecting because
No.
Redirect.
See, when they watch the 8 minutes of Robert, it's gonna be mad because the way you have not answered this question, but it's okay because I know you. That's why it's okay. I know you for a long time.
Answered this question, y'all. She is not being successful. Stop requiring wifely things from girlfriends and baby mothers.
hear
Stop
you.
doing it. That's where the
Yeah.
conversation ends. Point blank. Period.
All
So
right, we'll leave it there.
I disagree. That's all I said. That's it. That's all.
We'll leave it there. I'm gonna go to Alice Aye and then I'll let you go, Sam. Alice Aye, give us your point of view. Thank you, Robert. Alice Aye, go.
Hello, everyone.
Save your ladies, please. Save your lady, please.
Yeah, I have to disagree, Araba. I'm sorry. I think that as far as from a woman's perspective, if we're not talking about Keke Palmer and we're just looking at her as a
Wait, hold
woman
on a
in a
minute. Hold
relationship.
a minute. Alice Aye, why are you looking so fine? What's going on? What's going on with the panel today?
Period. Thank you.
Kind of this
Come on now.
They're distracting us,
It's
bro.
Saturday.
You have to know the game. You have to know the game. They're distracting
This
us,
guy.
bro.
Bro,
They're
Kojo,
trying to
Yeah,
finesse us.
let me show you. No.
Sorry,
but,
Alice, go on. Apologies, go on.
Kojo, focus.
I'm focused.
Can you focus? Okay. So the point is, I think she's wrong. Period. I think that he talked about the dress and the man talked about the dress, and that being the issue of dressing like that as a mother. But I think what you're saying, Kojo, and I think what I'm agreeing with is her conduct, the spinning, the extra flirtation is almost like she didn't have a man at home or a baby at home. So it is a little bit out of pocket. If I'm talking from a woman to woman, what are you doing? Why do you need his attention? Why do you need his all of that? Are you doing that out of excitement for your new body and you're feeling yourself, or are you doing that for his attention? See, the thing is, men don't know the difference. And when you put yourself in that position, just like the Bible says, don't give even the perception of evil, right? So even if you put yourself in that position and you're not thinking like that, we are. And her man obviously is.